Detroit Live.
Tune in to the Teachers Lounge Talk Show. We are back for our third season. Topics include education, youth redeveloping, communities, and schools. Join us Thursdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Call and be a part of the conversation. Join Leslie Piper, Ms. Falk, Mr. Weir, and Mr. Gardner.
One of the problems is they forget who elected them. They forget who supported them, who encouraged people to vote for them. So we got to hold people accountable. They become these people, judges, elected officials become part of the status quo, thereby becoming part of the problem.
Stand up. Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is on the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth.
We need to build our own system. We need to build a system based on righteousness, a system based on some divine principles, a system based on equality and justice. They call it the justice system, but it's just us. We need justice, fairness, everybody.
Give up the fight. Get up, stand up.
If you call yourself a trigger, you will act like a trigger. Criminals are organized. We are getting organized. So we thank God for the Detroit 300. Let's give God a hand clap.
Well, you know, it's been a long grind, and the city's had a lot of things go wrong, but I feel like things are going the right direction right now, and we're happy to be a part of it.
All right, any other words you want to say?
Well, glad you've been on our side.
Detroit, for Detroiters first. Self-determination can't just be a slogan. It's got to be a way of life.
All of the nations of the earth as we speak are angry. They're angry because governments cannot suffice the needs of their people. They're angry because a few have gotten wealthy at the expense of the many, and the poor and the sick and the weak and the unlearned multiply. And the value of their lives are diminished by the rich and the powerful, so that when human life is devalued, that in the eyes of man you are unworthy of the gift of life, then it is easy for another human being to take the life of another human being that he or she has devalued. Black life in America is devalued. Hispanic life is devalued. Even poor white life is devalued. There's a way that I have to behave. I'm free, but I'm not free to rob you of yours. I'm not free to take from you what does not belong to me. So if I will construct my life according to these righteous principles, then between man and man, man and woman, peace. Between race and race, peace. Between rich and poor, peace. We have our beautiful Mexican family. this once was theirs. So you can't say to them they are aliens. That's a horrible word to use for former owners. I see my indigenous family here. Many tribes, but they're really one great nation of people that now must be reunited with themselves. So it's their time now, as well as ours, that God would intervene in our affairs and bring the bottom rail to the top. Government is not rehabilitating soldiers. When they send you away to kill. When you come home, they gotta reconstitute you for civilian life again. Make sure you have a job so you can take care of your family, but they're not doing it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, a woman can do anything that a man does, and the only thing he forbids the woman to do is the thing that degrades her. So how high can you go? High as you want to. Why would God allow the female to wear his attributes if you can't be a manifestation of that attribute? Women, you got to be set free. What God has put within you must be cultivated, must be developed, and must be used for the advancement of a nation and a world. I said to myself, Mr. President, why the hell don't you go to the wicked police department? Why the hell don't you stand up and tell them that your killing of black youth and brown youth is not gonna hold no more? Why don't you stand up? God's world is in need of a truth that will set up a government where everybody can live in peace under real freedom, real justice, and real equality.
Good evening, giving honor and recognition to Almighty God, who's the head and the guide of my life, and I'm forever grateful to the Almighty for the fulfillment of Scripture in the person of the Savior, the Redeemer, the Master, the Deliverer, the answer, the door for fallen humanity to walk through out of the muck and the mire and the misery and the murder and the madness and the mayhem that is permeating not only in Detroit, but across the globe. I am grateful, and I can sing that song. I can never forget what he's done for me. I'm so grateful to the Son. I'm so grateful for life, for light, for a portion of health, and for a smidgen of sanity. I also want to give honor and recognition to R.J. Watkins. And when I say R.J., I'm talking about his team. No man is an island unto himself. It's a team here. From Freddie to Roshan to R.J. Jr. to Michelle to Marvin to Maxine Willis, who holds down the first segment of our show Tuesdays at 6 p.m. She does an outstanding job. and everybody. Those who fix the lights, those who work the equalizers, those who pick up garbage inside and outside. Everyone is important, and I'm grateful. This is TV33, UHF. Where would we be without TV33? The greatest station in the nation. I'm Malik Shabazz. This is the Get Up, Stand Up, Truth Envision show. The truth is in the house. Want to let you know we're here Monday nights, 9 p.m. to midnight. And usually we have Billy, Dr. Talk, Nubia, Dr. Kafense holding it down most Mondays for us. Tuesdays 6 to 9 we're here. We're here Wednesdays 9 a.m. to 12 noon, usually Dr. Talk. Thursdays we're here 6 to 9. 8 p.m. we have the Teachers Lounge. Unionized active teachers who put in overtime. They do a live show here on Thursdays, 8 p.m. And before then, we have the supervisor, the Grand Poobah, Brother Ajane, Brother Rashawn, specially abled, differently abled. Saturdays, we are at 9, 10 a.m., 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., where we play mood music, message music, love humanity, love each other music, from Harvest for the World to KRS-One, The Teacher, Boogie Down Productions, to Big Detroit's own Big Sean. One man can change the world, because one man can change the world. One man, one woman, one child. That's how we do this. One mind, one heart, one house, one block, one neighborhood, one city, one county, one state, one nation, to one planet. That's how we do this. Once again, this is the Get Up, Stand Up, Truth Envision show. Truth is in the house. I'm Malik Shabazz. Got another great program. Got some great guests that are going to stay with us till 9 p.m. And we might have a couple more coming. But I got some very important announcements that I need to get out. Number one, I want to let you know that CVS is hiring as we speak. They're looking for managers and assistant managers. Go to jobs.cvshealth.com/retail. jobs.cvshealth.com/retail. Westwood Nursing Center is hiring. You can reach them 313-345-5000, extension 105. 313-345-5000, extension 105. Some more people are hiring. Give me a minute. Work with me. Securitas is hiring. And you can reach them by going to www.securitasjobs.com. www.securitasjobs.com. Also, my good friend and one of our panelists tonight, just recently reelected police commissioner, Detroit Board of Police Commissioners, District 5, Brother Willie Burton, is here. And Thursday, he's having a program 5 to 7 p.m. at the Doubletree Suites by Hilton Hotel, which is downtown on Fort Street, Fort Shelby, 525 West Lafayette, basically almost across the street from Channel 4. He's having a town hall meeting. It's free, right? It's free. talking about fighting crime and jobs. That's very, very important. That's very important. The U.S. Small Business Administration will be participating and discussing jobs and contracting and services. So we want to come on down there this Thursday, and he's going to be talking about that along with some other very important issues. We keep voter registration cards with us. So if you're not registered and you see us out in the street or at a meeting, let us know you want to get registered to vote. We can register you to vote right then and there on the spot. As well, Hertz is hiring full-time and part-time courtesy bus drivers. Hertz is also looking for part-time car transporters, full and part-time car cleaners. They're looking for tire and oil changers. They're looking for customer service reps, and they're looking for lot attendants. If that's you, then go to www.hertz.jobs, www.hertz.jobs. The EMS, the fire, and the police department are hiring. You don't have to itch about Hook, Joe Nab, John Law, Popo, and what ain't going on. You can become part of the solution by being a peace officer, by being an EMS worker, by being a fireman. They are hiring, starting $18.18. And our police commissioner was one of the ones voted for a pay raise, and they need it. They need it. So there are jobs. There are jobs. There are people that are hiring. As well, New St. Paul Tabernacle Head Start Agency is looking for teachers, assistant teachers, child development specialists, program service directors, data specialists, chefs, and more. Call 313-835-0401. 313-835-0401. Workforce Development, Detroit Employment Solutions. Tomorrow morning, 8:30 in the morning. If this is you, they're hiring experienced material handlers. But you got to be there at 8:30 in the morning. At 9 a.m. tomorrow, they're locking the door. 9301 Michigan. 9301 Michigan. But you got to be there at 8:30 tomorrow. If you come at 9, you could be the best. They're not going to let you in. The door will be locked. Also, Workforce Development is hiring for Metro Airport. Sanitation workers, porters, warehouse stocking, cold food preparers, CDL drivers, airport delivery, and more. Monday, 8:30 a.m. You got to be there at 8:30 Monday. If they come at 9, Aquila, it's too late. At the Northwest Activity Center, 8:30 in the morning, this coming Monday. Show up. Get hired. Go to work. You ain't got to steal. We ain't got to rob. We ain't got to cheat. Thrifty Dollar is looking for lot attendants as well as other employees. www.thrifty.com. www.thrifty.com. D.R.A.C.O is hiring for mechanics and bus drivers. Call 313-933-1300. 313-933-1300. My good friend Carnell Alexander at the Carnell Alexander Foundation He's not against parents helping take care of their children. The problem is that when your DNA says you're not the parent and the state of Michigan says you are and garnishes and arrests you. He started an organization called Carnell, 313-939-3447, 313-939-3447. The City of Detroit Public Health STD Clinic. We're located on 50 East Canfield, corner of Canfield and Woodward. And this is something we don't talk about like we should in urban communities and in communities of color. You know, over 70% of these new HIV cases is black or Chicano. It's a problem. We need to talk about it. We need to work on it. If you have an STD or HIV, you need to go over to the clinic or call 313-577-9100. 313-577-9100. Slavery did not end with the Emancipation Proclamation of 1863. Thanks, Abe, but it didn't. And it didn't end with the end of the Civil War. Slavery is going on as we speak, globally, here and everywhere else. Caller, hold on. Forced labor, sex trafficking, domestic servitude. If you suspect somebody of kidnapping, pimping, tricking, and all of that, call 1-866-DHS number 2 ICE. 1-866-DHS number 2 ICE. And if you're victimized, you've been smuggled, you've been kidnapped, you might be, Robert, like them girls they found, 10 years, chained to a pole in their basement, 4 blocks away from their house. You cannot give up on your loved ones. If you're victimized by it and you're able to reach a phone, I need you to call 1-888-3737, 888, 1-888-3737, 888. Is that a call? Okay, we're going to go to them real quick. Good evening.
Good evening, Minister. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing just fine. I'm piggyback on what you were saying about the STD. Someone just messaged me, and there was a guy, they got his picture, so I sent it to Sister Keela. But anyway, he had AIDS. He raped a 5-year-old baby. She is in the hospital, cannot move. They tested her. She's positive with AIDS. So when you say when we go to the doctor, let me just explain 3 things.
Quickly, dear.
You're going to do, when you go to your doctor once a year, you're going to do a CBC. That's a complete blood test, a blood count, I should say. Then you want to ask them, can they do a tube where they can do AIDS and hepatitis? That's all you need. AIDS, hepatitis, and your complete blood count, and then that's it. So I just wanted to share that with you. But this man is dangerous. So I sent it out to everybody. So I hope everybody that's my friend on Facebook, you would pass it on to your people as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And
once again, the STD Clinic, STD HIV, Detroit Public Health, 50 East Canfield. The phone number 313-577-9100.
Okay, and I would definitely, I got that number down.
Okay.
And I'll pass it along as well, too.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and you all have a wonderful day.
You have a better one.
You too, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Also, I need to let you know about Crime Stoppers. The great thing about Crime Stoppers is it's anonymous. It's the DL. It's the down low. Crimes like narcotics, rape, larceny, kidnapping, breaking and entering, carjacking, animal cruelty, murder, vandalism, hit and run, missing persons, robbery, assault, fugitives, and much more. In the last 4 years, Crime Stoppers has received over 24,000 tips, thanks to you, and has paid out over 300,000 in cash rewards. It's anonymous. 1-800-SPEAK-UP. And speaking of that, we're glad that the reward has now been raised. You know, we did some turkey hot dog fundraisers to help to increase the reward for Tamala Nikki Wells, who's been missing over 5 years. She's a mother who has been missing over 5 years. Where do our missing people go? Where do they go? Are they with George Clinton on the mothership? Are they in Saudi Arabia? Are they in Poland? Are they in Mexico? Or are they tied to a pole in a basement in Detroit or somewhere in Ohio or California? Where are our missing women? Where are our missing children? Where are our missing adults? Where are our missing young men? Sex slavery, domestic slavery is continuing on, and it's up to all of us to stop it. But anyway, we did $1 hot dogs, and we were able to sell 300. The money was delivered to Crime Stoppers yesterday. They immediately increased the award, so the award is now $2,800. We're thankful, we're grateful, and we are certainly hoping that it will help to bring this case to a close. Last week we were dealing once again Jasmine Moody, another missing young lady. The week before that we were dealing with Donald and Ronald Tyler. This is a double homicide over on Fenmore in the 48219 area code. Here's two blood brothers, twins, and one brother comes from down south to visit the other one. And they both end up murdered and set on fire. It has to stop. It has to stop. It has to stop. This Sunday, 3 p.m., we're going to be on Lappin and Row, 3 p.m., Deep East Side. We're going back again because earlier this year, Andre Holloway, 34-year-old young man, a father, was murdered. Now, there was another murder of an elder right around the corner, and we thank God for the increase. We thank DPD for the increase. We thank Crime Stoppers, and we definitely thank our organization. We hit the blocks. That murder is down. We had tied both murders together because of the proximity. But that's down. But this young man, the murderers are still out here operating. So if you have some time Sunday, it's not going to kill you. Doesn't matter. You know, the rain, all that. You know, I've had a cold the last few weeks because it's been raining almost every time we're going. But that's okay. I'm still here. I survive. It's okay. It's good exercise. How you lose all that weight? I keep it moving. I ate less, I drink more water, and I keep working. I keep exercising. I keep doing the damn thing on your porches. Because when we go out, we might hit 30 blocks, really. If you ain't in shape, you want to get in shape, get with us. And you'll be doing some good in the community. So that is the agenda. I think I've gotten all through that. Gone through all the. Oh, Friday, We're meeting 6:30 p.m. True Oracles of God, 1500 East State Fair at Hull. Now, we're broadcasting live tonight on the Facebook page, I'm So Detroit, but you can keep up with us. We got 9 pages. Friends of Minister Malik Shabazz, the Marcus Garvey movement. Malik Shabazz, number 2. I'm So Detroit, which we're on Facebook Live tonight. Close the Crack House. Minister Malik on WHPR. We got Malik Shabazz. We got Buy Black First Shop Detroit. And we have the Get Up, Stand Up, Truth in Vision show. All that is on Facebook. Want to send out a shout to Tamara Mark Biz Williams. Great woman. She does a lot of posting all over Facebook about murders of children and everybody. And she's consistent. And we're going to do some things together. Also, we will be teaching Thursday. You know we do every 2 weeks at Wayne County Community College downtown campus, Fort Street at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You don't have to be a student to come. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're blue. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you're a woman. If you're interested in some teachings of love and putting our minds together, as the scripture says, come, let us reason together. Let us link up. If you don't mind some love and some history and some social responsibility, both individually and collectively, because that's all we teaching. Thursday, 11 a.m., downtown Fort Street campus, room 236. You don't have to be a student. It's free. Just come on out and get some of this love that we have going around. Okay, I think I got through it all. Lastly, can't forget this. African Easy Silk. African Easy Silk products. Produced by the late but still great Dr. J.D. Hill. Continued on by his wife, Sister Pat, and the hair doctor. Black produced, Black Potion products. Did you know Madam C.J. Walker was the first female millionaire in this nation and the first black millionaire? How did she do it? Hair care products, lotions, oils, foot creams, brushes, combs. We can do the same thing, y'all. We can do the same thing. People laugh at me, some of the brothers. You slanging hair grease. Yeah. It beats slanging lean. It beats slanging heroin. It beats slanging crack. It beats breaking into people's houses. Yeah. Certain people are laughing to the bank in the black community with the beauty supplies and the lotions and the potions and the oils. They laughing to the bank. Why don't we go to the bank? Why don't we do what Madam C.J. Walker did 100 years ago? If she could do it 100 years ago when people were malice greening us at will, literally at will, if she could create jobs for thousands of people, why can't we do it today? And the products work. I got a few right here real quickly. Lotion. We have banana lotion and we have vanilla lotion. We got different kinds of soaps. The granny soap, the strawberry soap, the Venus soap. This Venus comes from Africa. This is import-export, made out of pure aloe vera. Comes from Nigeria. And it works. As a matter of fact, this is my sister. I need to call her. Let her know we got a new shipment, Sharon McPhail. She buys these 10, 11 at a time from us. It works. We have the Doo-Doo Oshun black soap. We got it all. Foot cream with vitamin E, enriched vitamin E. All of the products are vitamin E or shea butter or jojoba oil based, all of them. We got pure shea butter, yellow colored, vanilla, banana colored, vanilla colored from Africa. And shea butter will last forever, forever, if you close the top. It never goes away. We have been using shea butter before certain people were on the planet. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you just don't know. You just don't know how beautiful you are. You've only seen yourself in your man-made trigger eye state. You've never seen the Christ state that exists within you. But we're going to change all that. But we got it all. Spritzes, bubble baths, shower gels, you name it, we got it all. If we can deliver to your home like Madam C.J. Walker did, all you got to do is call Sister Keela, 313-718-6008. 313-718-6008. Is that a caller? Okay, we're going to get them real quick. Good evening, caller.
Good evening. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Minister?
Oh, I'm fine.
Great. I just turned on, so I just wanted to call in and say hello.
Oh, hey.
Before you send me the text to call in, so I'm already ahead of you.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
Yes. And I highly recommend that shea butter. You know, I bought some over the summer.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm still working with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It lasts.
I know it's going to take me all the way into next year.
And you know what? If you put this stuff on your feet will become like a baby where somebody wants them feet next to them. You know, but don't nobody want athletes' feet, fungus, jungle rat rubbing on them.
You're out cold, Minister, but we love you. You know I love you.
Love you too. Thank you.
We should see you Friday meeting.
Yes.
6:30 Churrocos Church, 1500 Hall at East State Fair.
That's it. You got it.
In.
And and don't forget about Sunday. Lappin and Row at 3 p.m.
All right, then, Luke.
One murder down there is down, but we got another one to deal with.
Okay, then. That would be great.
Is this Janice?
Also, could you have them put the numbers up so you can see the call-in numbers? It's not on the screen.
Oh, Freddie, put the call-in numbers at the bottom, please.
Yeah.
For me. Okay. Thank you. Look, Janice,
Minister.
let me run. I want to get my guests up here. I appreciate you, though, and thank you.
You're welcome. You know that, and peace and love to everybody.
Peace and love.
Thank you.
All
Bye-bye
right.
now.
All right, family, look, we're getting ready to take a break. We got some great people in here. Scotty Boman's here. My sister Linda is here, outstanding attorney and other things. Linda Bernard, the police commissioner, Willie Burton, Robert Robinson. It takes a village, y'all. We're going to kick it. We're going to come up here and we're just going to kick it because we family. We all family. And that's what we need to do. We need to talk about some of the things we're not talking about. If we don't think about them and talk about them, then heck, we certainly can't get to doing them. And that's what we want to do as we close out 2017 and move to 2018. Change. Action. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to get my guests right on up. We will be right back at you momentarily. I'm Malik Shabazz. This is the Get Up, Stand Up, Truth in Vision show. The truth is in the house. Be right back at you.
You're watching W33BY, Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of W33BY, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
When you're having a heart attack, this is how it feels to your heart. And if it happens at night or on the weekend, there's only one hospital team standing by on site to save you. Cardio Team 1 at the DMC. Not on call, but on site, 24/7, 365. Cutting heart attack response time to half the national standard. Cardio Team 1, now at the new DMC Heart Hospital opening this summer. The beat goes on.
Tune in to the Teachers Lounge Talk Show. We are back for our third season. Topics include education, youth redeveloping, communities, and schools. Join us Thursdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Call and be a part of the conversation. Join Leslie Piper, Ms. Falk, Mr. Weir, and Mr. Gardner.
WHPR TV is now on demand. Catch us when you want, how you want, where you want. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Watch your favorite TV shows on demand. And be sure to
Download the WHPR app.
We're now on demand at your demand. WHPR TV Detroit on demand.com. A Watkins Broadcasting Company. Cheryl Underwood got her own show, now you get yours. Have a business or talent you want to showcase? Have your own show simulcast on WHPR TV and radio, and on Comcast Cable and all of your favorite apps and devices.
Well, here's where you get discovered, right here. This...
Watkins Broadcasting? Watkins Broadcasting.
Packages start at just $99. Call now. Download the WHPR TV app and catch the Cheryl Underwood Show wherever you are.
What's up? It's your girl D-Dub, and you make sure you tune in to The Plug Radio, 88.1 FM WHPR, each and every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m.
I'm addicted to
Detroit
this.
Radio.
Been a couple corners, make a couple dollars. I'm addicted to this. You don't know my struggle. Turbulent. You don't want these problems. I'm addicted to this. I can't stop, I won't stop till I'm on top. I'm addicted to this. I can't stop.
Hey, it's your boy Dub Fun, co-host of the Bad Apples Forever show. Make sure y'all tune in to 81. Hey, Dub Fun. Where I get some meat at?
Fake Friends. Behind the scenes of the new dance show. Written by Mike Matthews.
Talking about my friends. How many of us are real friends?
Hey, it's LaWanda. Guess what? I'm going to be on radio and TV. I want you to be with me every Wednesday between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. You and I, right here, WHPR TV33.
It's Fake Friends. Written by Mike Matthews. Behind the scenes of the new dance show.
I'm going to give you the updates on this new sitcom entitled Fake Friends. I'm going to have my real friends with me on my show. I'm talking about Mr. R.J. Watkins and none other than Mr. Henry Tyler.
The sitcom Fake Friends.
I'm going to dish the dirt whose baby is that as I sip my tea.
Who you calling fake? Can we all just get along?
I'm minding my business. I'm just telling yours.
The new sitcom Fake Friends. Only on 107.3 FM. WVIE Virgin Islands. Simulcasting on Comcast. Channel 91 and TV 33.
This is Billy Jones. Talk Beat Jones. Watch us every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. You will enjoy calling and talking on Talk Beat Jones. See you then, Saturday, 1 to 2.
Bon appetit. At 160 Victor Street, Highland Park, Michigan, we have lamb chop dinners. Bon appetit famous dry rub ribs. 313-444-5048. We also have fish dinners. Bon appetit. At 160 Victor Street, Highland Park, Michigan. We now accept credit cards.
We have an array of products to assist you in all your beauty or body needs. Do you want curly, soft, beautiful hair? Well, try our relaxer line, designed to leave your hair soft, silky, and full of body. Or would you like beautiful, straight, shiny, long-lasting hair? Well, try our cherry or extreme hold spritz with our cream shine. It's guaranteed to give you that look you want. How about dry, achy feet or legs that you can't seem to keep moisturized? Well, try our African shea butter foot lotion. We have many products to help you with all phases of your beauty and body needs. For a full list of all our products, please visit our website at www.aeasysilk.com or call us at 313-277-2319. Has age finally caught up with you? Do you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or kidney disease? Well, look and feel younger today. We discovered a new product that promotes appearance and joint issues by the way of collagen, HA, and other super ingredients, without injections. This product will significantly improve joint mobility, help with high blood pressure, kidney disease, and diabetes. It'll also help your skin as well. Call us now at 706-319-0255 or 313-885-4321.
When you're having a heart attack, this is how it feels to your heart. And if it happens at night or on the weekend, there's only one hospital team standing by on site to save you. Cardio Team 1 at the DMC. Not on call, but on site, 24/7, 365. Cutting heart attack response time to half the national standard. Cardio Team 1, now at the new DMC Heart Hospital opening this summer. The beat goes on.
Watkins Broadcasting is going worldwide. Now you can watch Detroit's own WHPR on your TV from anywhere in the world. No matter where you are, you can stay in the know with WHPR TV and Roku. You can get your easy-to-install Roku box from wherever you shop for your entertainment gear. Once your Roku box is connected to your TV and internet, go to the channel store on the home menu of the Roku box. Enter WHPR TV in the search engine and add it to your channels. That's it. That's all you need to get the best in entertainment, news, and talk, no matter where you are. Roku brings all of your favorites to your TV. Netflix, Hulu Plus, Crackle, HBO Go, and now WHPR TV, Detroit Live.
Tune in to the Teachers Lounge Talk Show. We are back for our third season. Topics include education, youth redeveloping, communities, and schools. Join us Thursdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Call and be a part of the conversation. Join Leslie Piper, Ms. Falk, Mr. Weir, and Mr. Gardner.
One of the problems is they forget who elected them. They forget who supported them, who encouraged people to vote for them. So we got to hold people accountable. They become these people, judges, elected officials become part of the status quo, thereby becoming part of the problem.
Stand up. Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is on the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth.
We need to build our own system. We need to build a system based on righteousness, a system based on some divine principles, a system based on equality and justice. They call it the justice system, but it's just us. We need justice, fairness, everybody.
Give up the fight. Get up, stand up.
If you call yourself a trigger, you will act like a trigger. Criminals are organized. We are getting organized. So we thank God for the Detroit 300. Let's give God a hand clap.
Well, you know, it's been a long grind, and the city's had a lot of things go wrong, but I feel like things are going the right direction right now, and we're happy to be a part of it.
All right. Any other words you want to say?
Oh, glad you've been on our side.
Detroit, for Detroiters first. Self-determination can't just be a slogan. It's got to be a way of life.
All of the nations of the earth as we speak are angry.
Good evening once again. It's the Get Up, Stand Up, Truth and Vision show. I'm Malik Shabazz. We have our panel, a great panel. I want to introduce them to you. Robert Robinson, It Takes a Village, y'all, the urban handyman. If you on Facebook, you know he's one of the kings of Facebook, and he gets out in the street, too. Missing people and sex trafficking and other things. Scotty Boman is here. He said he ran for the Board of Police Commissioners. Came up a little short, but he ain't giving up. He ain't giving in. He's going to be still doing some things in the community. Police Commissioner Willie Burton, congratulations on your reelection, brother.
Thank you, Mr. Malik Shabazz. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. And the world-renowned Linda Bernard, attorney extraordinaire. She's worn many hats, many. I mean, I couldn't even begin to tell you her resume because the show would be over. But if you're in legal trouble, you might want to talk to her. Not only if you're broke, she'll help, but if you can pay, that's good too, right, Linda, to get a little bit of that?
Absolutely, always.
Because we in Detroit, not Freetroit.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's start with the commissioner. Commissioner, what do you have going on Thursday?
You know, Thursday, it's Fight Crime, Grow Job Initiative. And what we want to do, we want to help those small businesses in the city of Detroit gain access to capital in order to continue to keep their doors open for their place of business. The fight crime part is, as a business owner, you might want to know what's going on around you in your surrounding areas. Is it conducive to do business or not? And I think that, many business owners want to know what's going on around them. So Fight Crime, Grow Jobs. We got SBA, who's going to be talking about government contracting. It's going to be talking about loans. It's going to be talking about grants. We got SCORE, which is business retired executives, many of them from Fortune 500 companies. They're going to be giving back their time as far as mentoring those small business owners or those individuals that's looking to go into business for themselves and help them get on the right path. In addition, we got the United States Postal Service. They're going to be talking about different opportunities, marketing opportunities.
And they're hiring.
And they also hiring, exactly. So this is Thursday, November 16th at 5 p.m. to 7.
How much does it cost?
It is absolutely free.
Wait a minute. All this is going to be free?
It's going to be free. It was actually an idea, when I first took office, it was Attorney Linda Bernard, it was Sam, it was also you and a few others was like, we need to do more in the city of Detroit for those small businesses. And so I actually took your guys' ideas and say, let's put them to work. So I actually want to thank you, Minister.
Praise God. So tell us again, start from the top, for those who didn't get their ink pen fast enough, what is going on Thursday and where?
Well, what's going on is it's a small business networking event, allow you to bring your business card down to 525 West Lafayette. That's the DoubleTree Hotel Suites, downtown Detroit, right across from Local 4. That's this Thursday, November 16th. The program starts at 5 p.m. promptly. We're going to have a little one-on-one with those business leaders, talking with individuals from the community, helping them gain access to loans and grants, as well as we're going to get into a little bit of the public safety aspects, because what the Detroit Police Department has launched was Project Greenlight about a year ago. And since then, 220 locations has came from that. So, you know, a lot of the small businesses don't have the resources to go Project Greenlight. They don't have the resources to say, you know, I want to hire secondary employment. So what other avenues out there for the small business owner when it comes to combating crime? And I think that a great source of combating crimes is growing jobs, getting small businesses more access to capital, because they are the winners and the leaders in our community as far as growing the local economy.
Wonderful. All right, I hope you wrote that down, and we're going to have him to say that some more about Thursday, because it's very, very important. Okay, family, let's get into it. The election in Detroit just took place. I want to know, are you satisfied with the election? And whether if you are or not, can we just totally rely on elections to solve our problems? Let's start with the urban handyman, Robert Robinson.
Well, it's not a matter of me being, satisfied with the election. It's what do we do now that it's here? And do elections really count? I mean, it's not solely the election. It's about motivating the people, because if we base it off of the elections, not everybody went out and voted. So it's like if you can.
What was it, 24% or something?
The majority of people did not vote. 75% did not vote.
Right.
So it's like, what if we can motivate those people to become leaders in their community to help? Like what we were saying on another show. It's like, what if we get those people involved and they can take their matters to their elected officials and try to get those things taken care of? But in the interim, you have to get out and start doing something. We can't sit back and wish for change to come. We have to get out and do something. So it's like, and I know for a fact, based off of what we do, by going, there's a bunch of people waiting to go out and do something, but they're afraid of failure. Sometimes what they want to do is wait to see somebody else go out. Once they see somebody else go out, they're sitting back and evaluating what's happening, how they're being treated. Then they come out. Once you start getting them to see, you're going to get your bumps and bruises, you're going to get told off, you're going to get your name drug in the mud. I, too, have had my name drawn through the mud. But it's like, do I let that affect my work? No. You just keep doing what you're doing. Let your work speak for itself. A lot of people get out and talk a good game, but the work is to be done is in the streets. And you have to believe me when I tell you the streets are talking. They know who's doing the work. They know who's not doing the work. They know who's sitting back advertising and getting on Facebook and all the other stuff, these what we call Facebook activists. They get out here and do things, but it's a difference to see me make a post as opposed to me posting and then going out into the streets to do what I say I'm going to do. That's what gets the work done. That's what also gets the respect of the people, and you're actually inadvertently motivating other people to come out and let's do the work.
Your Facebook pages, how many? You got 3 or 4? No.
3.
You got 3 group pages and 2
personal pages.
Tell us about your group pages. You got 3, and then you got 2 personal pages where people can reach you, and they can also get plugged into what you're doing and what other groups and people are doing, because you don't just keep Facebook for you. You make it available for the community to promote the good.
Right, because what happens, if we say we're doing something for the community and that we're working to make our city better, there's no big me's, little you's. It's all about everybody working together. And when you have it to where you remove yourself from trying to be the head, because we know, all of us, we've seen people who wanted to go out and say, it's because of me that this happened. And they don't realize, I tell people all the time, our group is just about 16,000 strong on It Takes a Village, y'all, and we're growing every day. Now I have a chance to get on there and to prove more and more people, because by me being sick, I'm off, I get to do more time with that while I'm going out to go do the work in the streets. But I always tell people, it's the people in that group that make me seem so much smarter than what I am by what they brought to the table. When I started out with that group, it was to help people get food, clothing, furniture, things of that nature, help with their kids, things like that. But as people joined the group, they started bringing more and more to the group. We started going out to senior citizen homes, which Kim Weston, I have to give her credit, that was my mentor growing up because I was a part of her program, Kim Weston's Festival of the Performing Arts. We did that. So now I do that. I take singers, dancers, musicians, nail techs, barbers, whatever comes across somebody's heart to do. We spend the day with the senior citizens and we feed them and we don't charge them a dime. You know, and I would love for people to copy that. You know, go through, do it, find one in your neighborhood, go do that. But getting back to it, we have It Takes a Village, y'all. We have,
and you gotta have y'all. Now it's not just it takes a village, y'all.
You have to put that on it because when we did the thing for 101-year-old, she was 101-year-old
right
at the time, Texana Hollis, when she was evicted from her home. You know, they pushed. That's what I said. They pushed me out the way. We were out there in the rain, going through 3 dumpsters of her stuff, 60 years of her belongings, to gather what we could salvage, to take it to the neighbor's house down the street to put it in the garage. We didn't have time to sit.
Wasn't she 101?
She was 101.
And what was this, 5-6 years ago?
2012, yeah.
Yeah.
2012.
Yeah.
But the powers that be made it seem like we weren't there, and they wanted to make it seem like they were the ones doing it. And at the time that I was going to expose these individuals, she passed away. She was 103 when she passed. I don't think they thought she was going to live that long when they were talking about she can live here for free, all this other stuff. I'm not going to name names, but I'm just talking about the situation. And it's like, it was terrible. But from that, people started making their own. It takes a village this, it takes a village that. I don't care. Just make sure when you put things with us, it takes a village y'all. And then we also have It Takes a Village Y'all to Find Our Missing, which is a page strictly for information for people who are missing, because we want to get that information out, because we all know a lot of times when people of color come up missing, we don't get that television play. We don't get that. But I tell people just as easy as you can click on sharing a party information, stuff like that, it doesn't matter if you know the people or not. Just hit share. All you gotta do is a simple thing. Just hit share. When you see somebody missing, you don't even have to put a post on it. Just hit share. Let that get out. Because you know, one thing we've learned, and I keep pointing to the minister because he started with me when I first started looking for the first person that I had, Jasmine Light and Ray Michael Moore, and they came up missing. You never know where a tip will come from.
Right.
Somebody may have gotten kidnapped on the east side or west side, and they were found on the opposite side of town. Or we got tips from the opposite side of town. So I always tell people it doesn't matter. Just put it out there because you don't know where a tip will come from.
That's right.
Then we also have Helpaholics. That page is simply people who need to help people or people who are looking for help. You know, you have addictions to different things. We're making people get addicted to helping people. It's not, you're not looking for anything in return. I always tell people if you're doing something because you're looking for something in return, your heart's not in it. Just step out of it because your heart's not in it. When you do something for somebody, it's coming from your heart. If something happens later on down the line, God bless you, it happened that way. But don't go into something looking for something because your heart's going to get broken if that's what you're all about. But luckily, we get people that get in there that genuinely help, and they also do it on It Takes a Village, y'all. Then I have my 2 personal pages, which if you type me in, I'm the only person that comes in, Robert Lewis, Lewis, Robinson the second, and the second is just 2 capital I's. Thankfully, nobody else out there has that, so when you punch it in, my 2 pages are the only ones that come up, thankfully.
All right.
But if you put in Robert Robinson, you'll be there all day.
All right. Scotty, grab the mic, brother. The election. Now, you were running for the police commissioners.
Right, for District 4, just as Willie over here is in
District 5.
Yeah, and I was seeking that post. I did lose. I lost with almost 40% of the vote. So it's a respectable percentage, but it's not winning. So am I satisfied? Well, you know, I definitely think things could have gone better. But as far as the second question, which at this point is really more critical, as far as where do we go from here, and do you need to wait for an election to make things better, or do you need to, I guess another way of putting it is, do we need to depend on politicians to make things better? And I think the answer is a definite no. Most of the good that's done in our community is done by individuals living in those communities, by the organizations they form independently and voluntarily, and by the businesses they have that help serve the people in the community. So there's absolutely no doubt that, no, we do not need to wait for politicians to do things. We don't need to wait for an election year to do things. Now, I add that the election, in a way, helped motivate me to do something that I later realized is something that I want to keep doing, which is going and actually talking to people in the community. And when I was out there campaigning, I was having people tell me, you know what? No one ever comes here. You're the first candidate I've ever seen come to my door. And they meant like ever. And, you know, which was...
Something's wrong with that.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, every candidate should be willing to come to your door. If they're willing to come and if they're asking you to vote for them, I mean, the least they can do is reach out and talk to you. And a lot of people, I think, that voted for me, that was like the only reason they did was, to, you know, relative to the other candidates.
You showed up.
I was there and he was not, right. But what I also got out of that is a lot of people really don't know what's happening as far as how their local government is structured, and they don't know about the Board of Police Commissioners. It's been very underreported on. There's a few good journalists that give some really nice coverage of what happens with the Board of Police Commissioners, but most write, you know, about all these other offices and then don't mention it as if it doesn't even exist. And so I found out most of the time what I was doing was telling people what the Board of Police Commissioners was and why it was important. A lot of people didn't understand the idea of civilian oversight. They thought it was part of the police department. A lot of people thought that I was running against Chief Craig, for instance, just to give a sense, because if you look in, you know, the movies and stuff, a lot of times the police commissioner is like one person who's in charge of a department, much like a chief would be. But in fact, I mentioned that, yeah, Detroit up until 1974 did have a single commissioner and went to a board of 4 commissioners in 74, and now since 2012 we have an elected board, you know, since the charter was revised in 2012.
And the emergency manager's gone.
Yeah.
Thank God. Hopefully not to return.
Yeah, so actually the people they elect can actually do some of the jobs that they were elected to do. So I feel that now that I understand that I feel motivated to go out and talk to people more. And as soon as the weather gets a little better and it's a little warmer, I plan on going door to door again and talking to the people I didn't talk to before and telling them why civilian oversight is important. That it's, and it's, you know, a lot of people, it gets into this thing pro-cop, anti-cop, and I try to say it's not about that. It's about pro-justice, anti-justice. Are you, you know, if police are doing good, then pat them on the back.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job.
Support them.
If they're not, sorry. And if somebody does something that is criminal, being an officer does not absolve one of criminal responsibility for that. And I mean, those are different things I bring up. I think that having a board of elected police commissioners who do not have a background in the Detroit Police Department is important, because they're going to be overseeing people that otherwise they were raised or trained, like you go into the academy and say, this is your family. And that you're being trained now to think of all these people around you as your family. There's this camaraderie that develops over the years. But what happens with family? And actually, this line I actually got from a detective who I met when I was going to door. She said it to me. She goes, what does family do when they're in trouble? Well, family circles the wagons. And if someone in the family did something wrong, you try to back that up. That person, you know, you have that person's back who's in the family, even if they did something wrong, because, you know, family sticks together and helps them get through it. That is not what we need the civilian oversight of the Detroit Police Department doing.
I'd like to just comment on that briefly. The Police Commission was created in 1974 by Mayor Coleman Alexander Young. At that time, he ran against the police chief, a guy by the name of Nichols. And he beat him. And Coleman's position was throughout his entire life, number one, that a police chief should never be mayor of a city because it is a paramilitary operation, and they will bring those skills and that mentality to the city if in fact they're just like in the military now. The president is a civilian. He's not, you know, the chief of staff. He's not head of all the the generals, etc.
Linda, forgive me. The president might be a damn fool now. I'm sorry.
Well,
I couldn't help it. You said it. I couldn't help it.
But I want to go back to what you said about civilian oversight. The police commission is now made up of a majority of police officers and former police officers. That was never Mayor Young's intention. I mean, he's just rolling in his grave. I can assure you of that. This division between people who are part of a paramilitary operation and the community, it was very distinct in his mind. His first commissioners were Lonnie Peake. The first woman on the commission, as I recall, was Brenda Peake. My sister, Sharon Bernard, was the second woman on the commission, and then Sharon McPhail was the third woman on the commission. But and we had people like Professor Ed Littlejohn, and now Judge Cohen, who's a federal judge. I mean, the list of distinguished people, Walt Douglas, the list of distinguished people who served on the commission, none of whom were former law enforcement, was absolutely critical. At no point did he ever in 20 years as mayor appoint a former police officer or sheriff to the commission. Currently, the commission is made up of a majority of ex-police officers. And you're right about the Code of Blue. The Code of Blue is alive. Everybody knows it. The 11th commandment is thou shalt not talk about another police officer. And so therefore, the commission has gotten away from what it was originally intended to be. Whether it's elected or appointed, when it was appointed, it was never even a thought about doing anything like this. And now that it's elected, you see, and in fact, you were beat by a person who was a former police officer. So, I mean, there's just a whole shift in the orientation. And as a result, I think the community suffers, and suffers greatly, because that was not the intent. That's not what it's about. It's like starting a women's organization, and now the whole thing is run by men. Pardon me? That's not the intent. So I was very happy about the fact that you were running. I thought you were extremely sincere. There is the commission currently is all African American. As I said earlier, when Mayor Young was making the appointments, that in fact never happened. You were the only person to try to run in that regard, other than one Hispanic person. It's become very elitist. I think 4 or 5 of the members live in Palmer Woods. So, I mean, it's not anything at all like what Mayor Young had envisioned. He had intellectuals. He had people who were committed civilly to the community. He had the people that would raise the issues that Malik raises, for example. He would be an excellent police commissioner because he understands people in the community, and he understands the importance of policing, what we call constitutional policing, which is a very different animal than what you have throughout America, where being African American, of course, makes you an instant target, and generally a dead one, if in fact there's a confrontation with police. So I mean, I applaud your efforts. I applaud Willie. Willie is a civilian. He's a civilian, and one of the youngest commissioners in the country. And so it is important that we have all views, not just retired law enforcement. Everybody is retired. Everybody's getting a police pension, and everybody, that's their boys, that's their girls. So I don't know,
Deep. I told you she was bad. Look, family, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk. We're going to hear what the commissioner, Willie Burton, has to say about all this. This is the Get Up, Stand Up, Truth and Vision show. We will be right back momentarily. Hey, Freddie, DMC, and we come right back. Real quick break.
You're watching W33BY, Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of W33BY, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
When you're having a heart attack, this is how it feels to your heart. And if it happens at night or on the weekend, there's only one hospital team standing by on site to save you. Cardio Team 1 at the DMC. Not on call, but on site, 24/7, 365. Cutting heart attack response time to half the national standard. Cardio Team 1, now at the new DMC Heart Hospital opening this summer.
Good evening once again. This is the Get Up, Stand Up, Truth and Vision show. Now, the brothers, Scotty and Robert, they spoke before Linda. Now, Commissioner, you got a hard job coming after her. Better you than me, but what do you think about all this?
I think that democracy works, and Detroiters, spoke clearly on November 7th at the polls. You look at all of the candidates that was running for office that sent out all this stuff in the mail. I think Detroiters knew who the candidates were. And
those who voted knew. Yeah.
Those that have voted. And for those that didn't vote, they, choose not to. I mean, they chose not to. But for those that were informed and those that voted, they voted for that candidate of choice, which was, the candidate that stood out in the community. So I say this, I'm satisfied, with the results. I'm satisfied with this election. I think that Detroiters spoke very loud and clear. Although it would have been nice having Scotty Boman to my side on the Police Board of Commissioners, because he works very hard in the community. And like Attorney Linda Bernard says, that the Police Board of Commissioners was established in 1974, six years after the 1967 rebellion, and that Mayor Coleman Young wanted a civilian board. He didn't, the police cannot police, themselves. So you have to have civilians there in that role. And when I look at Scotty Boman, who's an educator as well as a college professor, teaching so many of our students, and at the university level, the college level, he would have been great in that role on the commission, because the Police Board of Commissioners was created for civilians to have an oversight role and capacity in our Detroit Police Department. I am the youngest elected commissioner in the country, and it's been an honor serving, but we still have much work to do. We've been working hard, and I look at as each one of you at this table, from time to time, for your wisdom and your your expectations of whether we provide an adequate service to the citizens of Detroit, because your opinion matters. And when I go in into my sessions, I remember those conversations that people brought before me and say, Commissioner, can you look into this matter? Or when it's time for me to take a stand on certain issues, I like to include the public, because you all are the stakeholders and the partners in the city of Detroit, and without you, it wouldn't be us as elected officials. So I look to you all when it's time to make tough decisions, because I cannot make them alone. I serve to the pleasure of the people.
But Willie, I do not think democracy works in our community, and clearly it didn't if 75%, 3 out of every 4 people didn't vote. Secondarily, I think that to a large measure, voting is controlled by the media, and it's not controlled. I mean, obviously, even the influence of the church is totally de minimis at this point. I mean, people are not motivated to vote, and that's one of the real issues that Brother.
But why, Linda? Why are? Let me interrupt you a minute, because you got my brain clicking. Now, we're 80% black.
Tell me about it. Did that matter in this
and we're disproportionately poor, underserved, underused, underappreciated,
over-incarcerated.
Oh, all that. Right. So why aren't we getting up in massive numbers and voting. You just said 75% didn't vote, and we know the only votes we can count is the ones that's cast. Why aren't we voting?
The seniors voted.
Right.
And a lot of that was an absentee ballot, quite frankly. And I haven't looked at the percentage.
But what about the people? Other people, the rest of the people.
I say that not to cut you off, Attorney Linda Bernard. I have the greatest love and appreciation and respect for you, and you also are a dear friend and colleague. But I say that those that was interested in voting came out and voted. We cannot force someone to go out and vote if they chooses not to vote.
No, you can't make them.
But those that.
But why aren't we voting?
But it's not whether we are not voting. For those who had an interest, whether you're black, Latino, Hispanic, or Caucasian, they turned out and they voted. For those that had an interest, those that wanted to vote, voted. For those that choose not to vote, did exactly that. They didn't vote. But the thing about it is, we do have a democracy in this country, and for those that want to exercise their right to vote, they're going to do that. You don't have to. You have to tell you mention something once. You say the election is November 7th. People got it. They know when it was to vote, when it was time to vote. They had billboards out throughout the city of Detroit. People read public service announcements on
billboards. Do not touch people.
There was radio.
No, there were ads on radio, but the real core issues and so forth that Minister Shabazz talks about and so forth do not get the airing that they should in order to motivate people to vote. I mean, this is a great station and so forth, but if you had a larger audience, people would have voted because you can motivate them to get out there and do that. But we try to minimize the voices of reason within our community, and we shrink their influence to the maximum extent possible. We just keep it in Highland Park. That way we don't have to really worry about it.
So I got an example right here. I want to point.
Oh, and wait a minute, family, feel free to call in. We've got about a half hour left. All the lines are open. 313-868-0351. 313-868-0342. Hey Jay, 313-868-0342, 868-0351, 868-4336. Go ahead, Commissioner. Hold on, caller.
To my gentleman to the right here, to the far right, did you vote on Election Day?
Well, actually, yes, I did.
Okay. And to the gentleman to my right, did you vote?
Yes.
And what about you, Attorney Linda Bernard?
Of course I voted.
And we know that the Minister Malik Shabazz voted. So so where I'm going with this is we all had an interest. That's why we all voted, because we wanted to be included in the process. I believe that democracy
we were
works.
Raised to vote. There's a difference.
Exactly.
Right.
And
we're not confused.
And exactly. And the thing about it is, for those that have an interest or had an interest or have an interest, they went out and voted. They exercised their vote. I'm not going to sit here and knock our brothers and sisters in the city of Detroit and say that our people don't vote. I think that whether you're black, white, Hispanic, or other that have an interest, they went out and exercised their right to vote, and that is a democracy. And I am satisfied with the results.
Let me get the caller, then we'll come back to the Robert Robinson. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
Yes, I have the this and AT&T. I want to know what station does your channel come on?
Your what? I'm sorry. What channel are we on?
I have my phone. I have AT&T, the Dish Network, but I can't get your channel.
I don't know about the Dish. We're not on the Dish. We're on Comcast 91 in Detroit, Comcast 90 Metro Detroit. We're on the World Wide Web, www.tv33whpr.com. If you got a smartphone, you can download the free app, and I want you to know.
Can I ask you a question real quick, though?
Well, I was answering your question, I thought. You
did fine. You're beautiful. but you seem like you're a positive brother, good brother. Let me ask you this, though. Do you really think Mike Duggan is doing his part for the city of Detroit that Coleman Young Jr. would do?
Okay, I've been answering this.
Just be yes or no.
Wait a minute. Hold on, brother. I'm not on trial. Put him on hold. Put him on hold. Put him on hold.
No,
you don't call in and tell me. Put him on hold now. You don't tell me to answer the question yes or no on my show. I'm not on trial. Obviously, I felt Mike Duggan was the best guy 4 years ago, and obviously I felt it a week ago. I didn't hide like some Reverend Flim Flams and Hoop and Hollers. Now, not a lot of reverends hid this time because somebody was a man and was honest and didn't hide 4 years ago and provided cover for Negroes to come out. But I thought that. I have said throughout this election, Coleman Young Jr. is a friend of mine and is a good man. I supported him for state rep. I supported him for state senate. Now, because they changed the laws, he's term limited. I think he can do one more term as a state rep, one more term. But my point is, you didn't hear me saying anything bad about Coleman Young, and I had people on my show who supported Coleman Young. I let people call who supported him. I didn't attack him as long as y'all didn't start in on me. But the problem is too many. Well, look, man, the election's over. Mike, we didn't elect Jesus Christ. We didn't elect Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Shalom, Allah. We didn't elect them. We elected men. Men. Mike Duggan has won. Get over it, and let's hold him accountable. If Coleman Young had won, and I'm not happy, get over it, and let's hold him accountable. All our elected leaders, including my friend here, and Scotty when he gets on the board, we have to hold them accountable. Go ahead.
I just like to.
I want our mayor to run for governor. I want him to be.
He's done. Thank you, but God bless you.
I want him to be in the most exclusive club in the world, the Club of 50. The 50 governors, there are 100 senators. That's an exclusive club, too, but not as exclusive as the governorship. And have about $15 billion at his disposal that he can really meaningfully help Detroit and the surrounding communities, Highland Park, etc., for Detroit. He is, in my opinion, the only Democrat that can win the governorship. And I really like my sister Gretchen and all that. She's a great girl, cool. Everybody's cool. That's not the point. But in order to carry the state, the only person with the profile to carry the state of Michigan and the track record to carry the state of Michigan and who will carry the black vote is Mayor Duggan.
Mayor Mike, are you listening?
I mean, I don't even, to me, it's a no-brainer. Clearly, he's good for the city of Detroit. Clearly, he's done some very good things for Detroit. But just think what he could do for Detroit if he was all-powerful and in the governor's chair. Just think about how we could move in a productive fashion. Just think of the resources he could bring to Detroit. Now he's going to the legislature with his hand out, like every other mayor in the state of Michigan, and all 84 county executives. But if he was the man in the state of Michigan, he would be bad. He could do so much more, and I so want him to do this. And I'm glad that he won as mayor because he needed to be a winner in order to run for governor. You got to run at least twice and win at least twice in order to to elevate yourself. So he's done that now, and he has money, he has power, he has everything, and he has the intellect, and he's a lawyer. I mean, he has some sense. I mean. And so is Gretchen. Gretchen's a lawyer as well, but she can't carry it.
And I love my sister, but that's not the point. I want a winner. We've had Republican governors for what, about 12, 16 years now? I forgot now. It's been so long. But we need to win. And for the once in our life, if you're a Democrat, you need to support a winner, a real clear winner who can win. We can't even name the people who've run the last 12 years. I can't even remember their names now. That's because they shouldn't have gotten the nomination in the first place. Mike is the only person that can carry this state.
I've been hearing that from a lot of people.
And can take our community to glory in so many ways. And I mean, I know he loves Detroit. I know he has an agenda for Detroit. But to me, I mean, if you really want to help Detroit, become the big dog. You know, don't lay back here with the puppies. I mean, it just is.
Commissioner, you got cut off, and I think I cut you off too. Okay, we're gonna come to each of you.
You know, I just wanted to say that, you know, democracy does work in the city of Detroit, and in looking at all of the elected officials that ran for re-election, you know, the mass majority got re-elected, including our honorable Mayor Mike Duggan. I mean, when the streets lights were out, it was Mayor Duggan who got the lights back on in the city of Detroit. And we're talking about those that are there fighting on behalf of the citizens of Detroit. You know, our mayor has done a remarkable job, you know, here in the city of Detroit. I look at the neighborhood police officers. I mean, each precinct has 4 NPOs. We didn't have that 5 years ago, but we had that 4 years ago under the new leadership administration by the Honorable Mayor Mike Duggan. So, I mean, the NPO process came under him along with Project Greenlight, and then it's expansion and those partnerships. So I think, you know, just looking back 4 years back up until now, you know, Detroit has spoke very loud and clear on November 7th. They said that we want the leadership that is working for the people, and Mayor Duggan is doing a job. So thank you, Mayor Duggan.
But what was so
for the great work you're
interesting
doing.
was that Conrad Mallett, who was already serving on the Board of Police Commissioners as an appointee, now has run as an elected and become an elected official again. So now he is not term limited, if you will, as a commissioner. When you're appointed as a commissioner, you can only serve 1 term. And then you have to sit out at least a year, and then you can come back in. But when you're elected, you can continuously be voted in as a commissioner. So it's very interesting to see exactly what that dynamic is going to be, because he and Mayor Duggan are very close. He was I saw you every single day. Reverend Malik Shabazz, Conrad Mallett, the lady that works with you, and Mike Duggan every day at the bistro on Livernois.
You did see
a client
yeah.
of mine. He's a client, my client.
At the American Bistro, y'all, black owned, I want to say.
That's correct. They had their own table. Nobody ever sat at that table but them every single day. So now, I mean, you know, there's a little, you know, flavor in the game, and we don't know what's going on. But I do know that that the mayor needs to hit the ground running. He needs to get sworn in January, like he's going to be, and then hit the ground, starting with the UP right on down.
Scotty, and then the Robert Robinson.
Yeah, I was going to say, as far as the voting turnout, I think a lot of it has to do with despair. And I know that from walking and talking to people, that a lot of people don't think it's going to make any difference who they vote for.
You're right.
And another thing is a lot of people aren't aware of enough about the people who are running, or even, for instance, with the office I was running for and that Willie ran for, didn't even know the office existed.
He's an incumbent, so it was an easier deal for him.
Yeah,
but some people don't know we got a board. I agree.
Right. That's why I'm actually forming an organization. It hasn't. It just kind of is an idea right now. But I did buy a website, D.R.A.C.O. .life, Detroit residents advancing civilian oversight, and the idea is that we go out there and try to make sure every single person living in the city of Detroit understands the value of civilian oversight, understands what that board is, and takes advantage of the existence of that board when necessary. I think all of those factors would be a great improvement no matter who's on it, and it would also help make people more informed coming around.
Get more people to participate.
Oh, yeah. I talked to one person, like it was like maybe just a few days before the election, and he's like going, no, I'm not going to vote. And I started talking about, I go, well, did you know about this office? And he didn't. And when he heard about it, he's like, you know what? I'm going to vote just because of you. And so, I mean, a lot of people, if they just knew a little more, would be motivated to vote. But if they think it's just going to come out a certain way, they've seen the newspapers, they feel like it's not going to, it's already pretty much done deal.
Or they feel disenchanted.
Yeah.
And too many people feel, not by you, but in general by politicians, that they've been had.
Absolutely.
They've been lied to, and so they feel like, why bother?
And they don't see any difference in their life.
Right.
That's a good lead into what I was going to say, because a lot of people, they lack the faith, and it's not a democracy thing at all.
Not at all.
It's got to do with faith and what they feel is going to happen. Some people, if you go out and walk the streets and go talk to people, a lot of them will tell you, a lot of things they feel like it's already determined who's going to win. If you just go through and talk, like come out into the Brightmoor areas, come out into, just go out into the neighborhoods, go to the ones that people don't go to. Go talk to those people. If you can, that's why I say if we get on the ground, out running, going to, like you said, going to talk to people. I'm actually interested in the police commissioner thing now, because it's like I was thinking about it before. You know, people were telling me I should go run for this, run for that. I didn't want to do it. But as we sit here and spoke, maybe I should look into doing something with the police commissioner, because we are out there basically policing our neighborhoods anyway.
That's right.
If you actually look at it, before we had all this stuff, we used to have the people in the neighborhood, what we call the nosy neighbors and everybody who used to police the neighborhoods.
There's nobody like you on the commission.
Why can't we motivate people to go back to that? You know, remember when Big Mom used to run the block? I put a Facebook post up about that a couple months ago. When you used to go, remember we used to have it to where before you even made it down to Big Mom's house, everybody on that block knew you were in trouble, because everybody was calling, hey, you know, Robert did this. I get the strange looks, and you can get a whooping from the neighbor down the street.
Right.
You know, if we can
before you get one at home.
Before you get one at home from Mama and Big Mom. But the thing is, how do we get people? This is what people don't realize about all the elections.
They're not going
how
back
do you
to
get
that,
people
though.
to get
They're
the
looking
faith?
at their cell phones. Nobody's going back to that anymore.
Well, that's not going to
that's
happen.
like,
But what
you know,
about getting people to get the faith in the election process and who they're voting for? Like you said, I applaud you going door to door, because most people won't do that. They'll do like she said. You're going to send something out electronic to give the impression that you're doing things. I may run out and go take a picture with this homeless guy real quick, or with this vet, to make it seem like I'm doing this. I'm elevating myself off of somebody else's pain. But if we can get people to go back, let's go talk to people. That's how you get things done. Go do things in the community. Work with Forgotten Harvest. Set up and give out food in the community.
It's
Show
name
that you give it
recognition.
up.
It's media recognition. That's really where it's
And
at.
that's- and
I
that's
mean,
crazy.
my brother, your brother, our brother Conrad did it magnificently. He had 0 campaign, 0 lawn signs, 0 church visits.
But that
0
name.
community visits. Wait, no, the Steve has all the data on who votes.
Steve Hood, yeah.
That's right. And he told me last night that he targeted the people, the 25 people out of 100 to vote. That's all he had to do. It was all electronic. It was all the whole new way of getting going to people, but only going to those people who vote. He wasn't trying to get anybody who didn't vote, because he knows they weren't going to vote anyway. It's a waste of money, waste of time. No mailings, no none of that.
Freddie, let's take a real quick commercial break. Let's hit the DMC real quick, and we'll come right back.
You're watching W33BY, Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of W33BY, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
When you're having a heart attack, this is how it feels to your heart. And if it happens at night or on the weekend, there's only one hospital team standing by on site to save you. Cardio Team 1 at the DMC. Not on call, but on site, 24/7, 365. cutting heart attack response time to half the national standard. Cardio Team 1, now at the new DMC Heart Hospital opening this summer.
All right, family, we're back for the last segment of the Get Up, Stand Up, Truth and Vision show. I need to remind you all, Monday nights, 9 p.m. to midnight, Tuesdays, 6 to 9 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon, Thursdays, 6 to 9 p.m., and Saturdays, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. at the Superstation, 9:10 a.m. As a matter of fact, if y'all schedules will allow, why don't y'all come out Saturday to the radio if y'all can?
What time?
11 p.m. at the Superstation, 9:10. Let's continue this. We all didn't get to say everything. I know you didn't. But we'll continue with this Saturday, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Want to remind you, Friday, 6:30 p.m., East State Fair and Hall, fantastic meeting. Sunday, 3 p.m., Lappin and Row, the murder of Andre Holloway, 34-year-old young man. We're asking for a little bit of your time. The weather, look, it's okay, y'all. God blesses and God gives the increase. Commissioner, tell us again about your meeting Thursday.
Thank you. Fight Crime, Grow Job is this Thursday, November 16th. It starts at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's at the DoubleTree Suites by Hilton Hotel, downtown Detroit, Fort Shelby. The address is 525 West Lafayette. SBA, Small Business Administration, will be there talking about loans and government contracting. SCORE, retired business executives, many of them from the Fortune 500. We'll be talking about mentoring those small and existing businesses and helping them get on a fast track. And also for those that looking to get into business, help them get on the right track. So that's this Thursday, November 16th at 5 p.m. the DoubleTree Hotel downtown.
And it's free.
Free food. Free food.
And you're feeding us too? Oh, man, hey, I'm going to bring both my bellies. I used to have about 6. Now I only got 1.5, but I'm going to bring it all. Robert, tell everybody real quickly how you can be reached on Facebook.
You can reach us at It Takes a Village Y'all. It Takes a Village Y'all to find our missing. Helpaholics, Robert Lewis, Lewis, Robinson II. Type that in, you get both of them. And also I wanted to do a quick little plug that I was reminded about. If you need to get your CPL, contact me, because I am a NRA certified instructor. I also do work at the gun range on the weekends to train people to make sure we're prepared. But if you need to get your CPL, you can reach out to me on Facebook or reach out to Brian Hill. And Brian Hill's name is
brother.
Bryon Hill. Check us out and let us help you get yourself together.
And Brian's got 2 pages.
Yeah.
Brian Hill and Brian Hill 2.
Yeah,
all right. Scotty, how can people reach you if they want to reach you?
Well,
or do you want to wait till you get your organization formed?
Well, I suppose if they want to reach me right now, I still have Boman for Detroit, which you can get also redirected from scottyboman.org. There's no W in my last name, just to kind of clarify that. And there's a contact phone there, form there, and there's a phone number and so forth on there that you can use. Another possibility is, eventually D.R.A.C.O.life will be up, D.R.A.C.O.life. What I generally do when I start a new project is I redirect my personal URL, scottyboman.org, to whatever it is. So if you forget one thing, maybe you remember the other one.
All right. Commissioner, real quick, one more time again, your meeting. They could see you Thursday.
You can see me
tomorrow.
You can see me Thursday. Right. So Fight Crime, Grow Job is a business networking event for Detroiters. And also for those that live in Highland Park and Hamtramck,
they don't have to live in District 5.
They don't have to live in
Just
District
come
5.
on.
Just come on. Everybody is welcome. The doors is open. If you're a retired veteran that served the city, this great country, this great nation, please come, because SBA will be talking about opportunities for veterans as well. So if you're a veteran, please come on out. If you are a family or of a veteran or just a business owner or someone looking to go into business, this event is for you. Get the mentoring, get the skills, get the tools from SCORE, which is made up of business executives from all over the world that's giving their time back voluntarily, working with those small businesses and getting them the resources that they need. And also Detroit economic growth. I mean, you know, there's a real opportunity right here in the city of Detroit. Let's stand up, Detroit. Fight crime, grow jobs. November 16th, the DoubleTree Hotel at 5 p.m.
On Lafayette.
Right on Lafayette. And Minister Malik Shabazz.
I'll be there.
I know you're going to be there because you fight for Detroiters like no other. And I love what you do for the citizens of Detroit and by the citizens of Detroit. So we're going to have something a little special just for you.
Wow, I'm honored. Linda Bernard, attorney, and many other hats, about 20. How can people reach you?
Well, you can reach me now. I'm also the executive director of the Inkster Housing Commission. And
congratulations.
Well, thank you. And for your information, the only African American that's in the president's cabinet, Dr. Ben Carson, will be here tomorrow at Renaissance, at the Renaissance Hotel, the Marriott Hotel. He's speaking at 11:30 about housing and about low-income people. So it's an interesting time. Obviously, there's a great deal of homelessness within our community and a great deal of poverty. I mean, whatever trickle down or trickle up, it hasn't happened really for the African American community, and housing is critical. So if there's anything I can do for anyone in that regard, you can certainly contact me at the Inkster Housing Commission, and I'm also listed in the Bar Journal as Attorney Linda Bernard.
All right.
But you're my friend, and you know you can
No
always
doubt, we go way back.
24/7.
That's right.
I got your back.
Amen. I got yours too. All right, family. Look, we're almost out of time. I just want to remind you again, come on out Thursday to the commissioner's event and get plugged in. See, itching is fine. We can itch, but after we itch and moan and groan, what are we going to do? That's what it all comes down to. What are we going to do? What can I do as an individual, and what can we do collectively? Because, see, it's got to be both. Individually, we can be bigger and do more. But together, we can do even more. But what is a group but some individuals that come together and agree on something? But you've got to get involved. Voting, spending your money with targeting some black businesses, some women-owned businesses, some Detroit-based businesses will help to change our economy a lot. $2 trillion you and I are going to spend is estimated before this year is out, from January 1 to December 31. Here's the problem, baby. 99% of it with everyone else. And I'm not hating. I'm not hating on nobody. But I'm just saying, can't we do some things? We got one black bank left, First Independence. I remember when we had 5. Now, who's going to support a black bank if we don't? We lost the Michigan Citizen. We don't want to lose WHPR. We don't want to lose the Michigan Chronicle. I'm not hating on the news or the free press, although it's a good argument in a generalized way that the news and the free press have been practicing white supremacy off the rip. There's some empirical evidence there, but I'm not saying don't support them. I'm saying buy the news, buy the free press. I do. But I'm going to have that Michigan Chronicle too. Hell, I'm going to get the Final Call Farrakhan paper. I'm going to have that in addition to the news and the free press, Robert, because it's called, like Malcolm said, intelligence, self-worth. Your ice is as cold as anybody else's. Your ice cream is as sweet as anyone else's. Your grass is as green as anyone else's. The wicked Wilson Pickett said it when I was little, and now see breezy Chris Brown trying to tell you, don't let the green grass fool you. What are you saying? You're the best. You are the best, Detroit. You are the greatest city on the planet and the worst at the same time. It's a matter of choice. The choices that you make, and especially to any young folks out there, the choices that you make today can follow you all your life. Choose the right things. Choose the good things. Don't fall into peer pressure or none of that, or we're all going to go over here and break into that. There's a little bit of God inside of everyone. Ye all gods, small g. Children of the Most High God, big G. That's scripture. What does that mean? You're not a trigger. You are the elect and the select of Almighty God. But you got to know it, and you've got to show it. All right, so we're out of, and my number, 313-646-3375. Got a very long voicemail, but it's strong. It will inspire you. And you leave your message, we'll get back to you, and you can reach us again on Facebook, Friends of Minister Malik, the Marcus Garvey, Malik Shabazz 2, I'm So Detroit, Close the Crack House, Minister Malik on WHPR, Malik Shabazz, Buy Black First Shop, Detroit, and of course, Get Up, Stand Up, Truth in Vision Show. And if you like tonight, follow me over Saturday, 11 p.m. I've invited them. So if their schedules will allow, they'll be there Saturday at 11, and we're going to pick up where we left off. I love you. God bless you. Peace.
You're watching W33BY, Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of W33BY, its affiliates, management,